All right, guys, I know there was quite a few people asking for me to do a video on the Helm. Finally had one sent in. Big thanks to quote James Duffy. That's not his real name, but anyway, thanks James for sending this in. This is the Helm Komodo, like the Komodo dragon, and it's a pretty sweet watch. I'm glad I finally was able to check one out, and you guys were definitely not wrong steering me in that direction. Of course, this isn't my watch. This is, James, and then we sold it, and it's going to the new owner. But let's just get right into the specs on this guy. This is a 40 millimeter case. You can see it's quite the chunk of stainless steel, 47 lug-to-lug drilled lugs. Thickness, about 15 millimeter, but that's including the double dome sapphire crystal. You have a bit of a slab side effect on this, so it's going to look a little bit taller than it really is. Not that say the 15 isn't thick. 15 is a thicker watch, and it has some heft on it for its compact 40 by 47, but it's still really nicely sized and it's manageable. The lug width here is 20 millimeter. This bracelet does not taper. It stays at 20, and then of course it has a full out milled clasp, 6 micro adjust, and no pushers on this, so you're just going to be able to snap it down, fold it over, signed Helm. So opening it up is basically just grab it from the sides and lift up is what I do. So nice screw down crown. This has a ISO certification. It's 300 meter water depth rating. Very well built, nicely sized. I didn't measure that crown. I bet you, because it feels perfect, I bet you it's 7 mil. Yep, so basically 7 millimeter crown. Seems to be the sweet spot, the size crown that I like anyway. 120 click bezel. You can see here there are options, so both in the colors and bezels. The owner swapped over to the steel one, which is not a steel insert. It looks to be just a full-on steel bezel, which is kind of slick. Usually you'll just have the regular bezel and they'll have a steel insert in it. This one's a full-on milled out, which is very slick. This one here is a ceramic, like a matte ceramic colored one, and should be loomed, so we'll take a look at that at the end as well. So you have options there. I'm sure you have to pay for them. I don't think it came with it, but and then it comes on the strap. So I'll put a link to the Helm website. Unfortunately, guys, I think Helm is a brand that pretty much as soon as they list, they sell out because they're priced crazy low. They're basically around $300. For what the build quality is and the quality control that I'm seeing on it, totally worth it. So if you can swoop one up when they have a restock, certainly worth the, I think it's $285 and then $30 shipping. It has a Seiko NH35 movement in it, which is totally fine for a micro brand, especially at this price point. This is a really nice watch, guys, for that price point for sure. So let me give you a wrist shot, and then we'll do some close-ups of the dial, and then of course we'll close out with a loom shot. And I'm not afraid to leave my loomed out toys here with this guy because the loom on it's going to be really good. Now again, like I said, it's 40 by 47, but man, you feel this thing on wrist. It's got a little bit of heft to it. Like, you're going to know that you're wearing a stainless steel watch. On my 7 1/4 wrist, it wears fine, but be ready for some, heft. So it's not unwieldy or anything like that. It's totally fine. It's just, it has a little bit of weight to it. Of course, I'm just coming off a full day of wearing a titanium G-Shock, so that probably doesn't help the sensation much. So the bezel action, it doesn't sound amazing, but the feel of it is like dead on. Everything lines up and like zero play. So very tight there. So if we zoom in on the dial, now there's a few different colorways. This one's really fun. It's a stark white dial, a little bit of gray print there for the Helm logo. And then I like the color match print for the Divers 300. And then you can see they kept with the round indices. Other than the 12, they also did it round cutout for the date wheel at the 6. Really like the balance of the dial on this guy. So along with that stark white dial and chapter, you have almost like a mint pastel type color. It's pretty cool, and it looms out really good. And you can see there's a little bit of that color around the date wheel or the date cutout there. That's also loomed, so that's pretty trick. It's not going to be as bright as the rest of it, but it's still really cool. And then of course, color matched pip as well. I love the attention to detail. Like even if you were to have this guy on there, you could see that the color would match really well, even if you went with the ceramic. I'm a sucker for the metal bezels, so I'm totally on board with that being swapped out. I like the way it is. So you can look at the case back there, very well done. No hot spots, no sharp spots, no anything like that. Solid end links. And then of course you have a very well built solid bracelet. And you can see it's pretty thick, and it just ties in with the watch really good. It matches the designs of it and everything like that. Screw links, they're pretty small, but you're probably, if you're used to sizing bracelets with a screwdriver, I'm sure you have something. But it's also kind of nice that the screws, you know, a lot of times they're machined all the way through. These ones are not, so it keeps the non-screw head side very clean in profile. So very cool looking for sure. Let me give you a comparison here just for size. Most people are familiar with the Seiko SKX, so that's why I do prefer it to show. But you can see, I mean, obviously a totally different case style and everything like that. But if I try to hold them at about the same plane, you can see the lug to lug is similar. The SKX is a little bit smaller. Weight-wise, in its stock form, it's quite a bit heavy. Not twice as heavy, but it's certainly heavier than the SKX, especially on this Jubilee bracelet. But if you can wear an SKX, you can wear a Helm, no problem. You know, the 40 and the whatever. So 40 by 47 by 15, it's a little thick, but the clarity on that crystal is amazing too. At all angles, really nicely done material choice from this brand. So, all right, guys, let me get you a lume shot, and then I'll shut it down, I guess. I'm just happy I was able to finally check one of these out. Yeah, you can see, I mean, I'll try to black out the big show-off lume monster, but you can see the lume on this is crazy. Now, to the naked eye, like you're getting some bleed through on the video of potentially seeing like a little bit of that white dial reflection. To the naked eye, I don't get that. There's no way I'd be able to tell that this is a white dial watch right now with my naked eye. All I see are massive indices and that really well done oversized handset just glowing back at me, and I can clearly see the date circle lume around that. The only thing that would have been like next level cool is if they would have loomed out the date numbers, I guess, because then you'd actually see them. But that's, you know, that's asking quite a bit. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next. Oh, here's the bezel too. I kind of had it in the background. So if you had it with a bezel, I mean, imagine that. That'd be pretty nuts if you're a lume junkie for sure. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next vid. Thanks for watching.